Hi, everyone. Hi, glad you're here. Uh, well, I'm taking over for Keith today. He is gone to have dinner with Glenn Beck. He was invited by somebody to go with him. And of course, you got to take that up, right? Lots of fun. So you get to have me today. I don't know as much as Keith, but we can talk real estate. We can do all that. So he didn't have time to leave the answers to some of the questions that were left for. Oh, I better turn this on silent. Sorry. Remember everything I need to do so we don't get interrupted. So if you want to talk about real estate, a little bit about building, because the story, just give you a little background of Keith and I and how we got into this. We're both educators. And I know he told you this story already, but this is my version, okay? We're both educators, and our spare jobs, we always had to work construction or photography is what I did. And sorry, I'm in the house, and so we might get interrupted, but welcome to my home. Okay. And so we always had spare jobs that we had to pick up to make ends meet. And Keith would do roofing with my dad, and he learned electrical, did landscaping for my dad. My dad built, and he was a developer, and so he built homes. And then I would clean them and help and stuff like that. So I knew a little bit. And we were always helping other family members. We would rent from my mom and fix up her home. And then we'd rent from his family and fix up their home. And one day he came home and said, actually, I was on an education trip and on the bus. And he called me and he said, I bought a lot. I said, what? You bought a lot? I didn't even get to see it. What are you talking about? So when I got home, he came and he showed me the home site, and it was in a good location. And sorry, someone's knocking. And it was in a good location. It was in a cul-de-sac, and it was really close to our other home. And I was nervous because he did it without me, but he's more like that. He just goes, and I'm the analytical one. Let's research it. I like to research and see how things work. So that's why he's really good with getting budgets, because I need a budget, honey. I have to budget. And so he put things together, and then we just started calling and getting bids, and we did it. We were teachers and we did it. So I know people that are organized and want to do it. You can do it. You can build your own home. I promise you, if you stay organized. We had a binder, and in that binder, we had a spreadsheet, which is on the How to Build site course. And we just filled it in. And when we got 3 bids from each person, and then we let that person know, like, hey, we're going to go with your bid, and I'd keep it all in a file, and then we'd fill it in. And yeah, it worked. And it was great that we were a team, because Keith also did a lot of the work, and he's just a go-getter and get this done and this done. And I like to make sure we keep close to our numbers and try to find a good deal. There's this one video that I've been telling him that I want to do. And that's another reason why I'm here. I love being here, because they've been kind of holding me back. And now I get to be rogue. I'm taking over. So I hope you guys have any questions. But I like to find unique things. We were building a home with a bathtub, the separate bathtub. It's not a built-in one, a freestanding tub. And a lot of the fixtures that I was looking for were thousands of dollars because of the way the wall set and everything like that. And there's got to be something that's pretty and useful and doesn't cost that much money. So I would research and try and find a good deal. And lo and behold, I found a faucet that was in like restaurant kitchen warehouse style. So, and it was $80. I I couldn't believe it. And so that's what we have. I like finding unique things at a better price. Okay, that's a little bit about us and how we got started in building homes. Is there anything that you guys have questions about with real estate? I'm in Utah, so I have Utah knowledge, and I'm full-time in real estate now. So if you have any questions about that, and put in the feed where you guys are located and what stage you're at in the building process. That would be great. Let's see. And sorry about last week. We tried to get to a spot with internet that was in time, but we were on the road and had a fabulous 30th anniversary. It was really fun. And we went from Utah to New York. It was really good. Saw lots of sights. We went to Niagara Falls. Any of you guys been to Niagara Falls? That's incredible. And it's really interesting because we would go through the different towns and just see these beautiful homes, empty, boarded up. And we checked into some of the prices and we couldn't believe some of the pricing on the homes. And so it's an interesting place all across the country. Okay, Brian Lewis. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was great. A little bit about Southern Utah. That's where we're at, and our market for real estate. We have our downtown area. We have a lot of people trying to buy downtown. There's areas going commercial and stuff like that. So that's a lot of people looking for multifamily. There's a new loan out for first-time home buyers that you can, if one's available, a duplex and live in one and rent out the other. And so you qualify for more. So that's really interesting. So think about that when you're building your home, whether or not you want to have to add an ADU or have a portion of your home that you can rent out so you have revenue generating to help pay the mortgage. That's kind of what we always think about. How can we help with the mortgage? Because there's tough times and good times. And so we're always looking at that. How can we use the best space? Keith's really good at that too. He's good at using space and how can we use it to its best use. Let's see. We're getting a lot of people finding out about Southern Utah that want to build multi-million-dollar homes because we have such a diverse landscape here. It's really pretty. It's the desert, so it's a little bit different than what we saw back in New York, where there were trees and green. It was so beautiful. And here it's beautiful, but it's different. It's red rock and mountains. We're only 45 minutes from snow mountain area, and about an hour and 45 minutes for skiing, Brian Head, and then we're hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how fast you drive, to Las Vegas. And so if you want to go see shows and stuff like that, you're not too far away, but we're just a cute little small town that's growing, and it's nice. Okay. Brian Lewis. Hi, Brian. I know Brian. Are you the same Brian that I know? Okay. Brian, will you be adding some of your knowledge to Keith's online training in the future? I took the course about 1.5 years ago and will probably pay for a refresher when I get closer to buying land and build. Yeah. What insights would you like to know? I guess I could just go in there and give my 2 bits. You bet. I'm really curious about what kind of insights that you are actually wanting to, so I can make sure I address that. That would be great. So that's amazing that you did a year and a half ago. So you probably got it right when we started. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And, thank you. Okay. Let's see what else about real estate, land. We are in the middle of, I have one offer on some land for a USDA loan for somebody. We're going to be building for them. And it's been really tricky because USDA has a lot of, we have some really good coordinators, and the loan officer, they're really good to work with so far. They do take more time. So when you're writing up an offer on land, and if you're using USDA, you want to give 45 days minimum. They take a lot more time to process. Of course, I hate to say it, but the government, it's a slow pace. They don't realize, like business owners and stuff like that, like we got to get things done. But when we all work together, things get done. And so USDA, if you're getting a loan for the land for USDA, plan 45 days on that. And usually when you're writing up an offer for land, you want more time for sure. You need at least, if the seller's agent has already done a lot of prep work, it's great because you could probably get all the seller's disclosures and everything within a week. And so it's like have that deadline be 7 days, but you might need more than that, 12 days. And then you have your due diligence period. And you want a lot of time for that, because if they don't have the perk test or the geotech, that's what they don't have on this one. We got it for a good deal. They're helping us because this is a wonderful family that needed some help. So everybody's contributing to make sure that they can get into this home. And so we have a long due diligence period because we need to get the perk test and the geotech test so we can get all the numbers, because USDA also wants a very, very, very detailed budget and things like that. So even though it's a little bit different, they don't see the whole budget, but they want things, but they just want the end numbers. So we have to make sure that we are really good on our numbers, because Keith is a cost plus builder, but we're doing this one for them that it's not a cost plus because USDA wants just that number. So we have to get as close as we can. And then if there's any accidents or unexpected costs, that we will incur because USDA needs that number. But it will be great once we go through this process, because they will have a home. Okay, and then so after the due diligence period, depending on how much time you need, I think we did 2 with the geotech and the perk, and then we added on 2 more weeks on just our due diligence to get that done. And then the following, so it would be 5 weeks for finance and appraisal, because USD requires that, and then another week. So 45 days until settlement. It's a little bit longer. Luckily, the seller is willing to work with us, and they are being very generous to help us this way. But again, there's not a lot where we put an offer on the lot. There's not a lot of movement either. So at least it's an offer, put it that way, instead of sitting on it. Okay, Brian, is it recommended to go through a real estate agent to purchase land, or would it be easier to work something out with the existing landowner? Oh, it all depends. If you want to be represented, and if you get a real estate agent that's full-time, they will know, they'll have knowledge because they've been doing it, and they can sometimes get connections if you need to get something done quicker. And then also you'll be represented in the fact that, like, we carry E&O insurance, and so that helps with any paperwork if there's an error or something like that with the paperwork. So they are looking out for your best interest if you're represented. But if you know somebody, it all depends on the land. If you know somebody and you know the land and you can get a good deal without an agent, go for it. Really. I mean, that's what so my grandmother was the first woman broker in Utah. She was amazing. Her husband died when my mom was little. And so she had to go to work. She had 3 kids, and she worked in a law firm as an assistant. And so she learned everything. And then she became a real estate agent. And it was so long ago, there were 7 of them, and they would go to the cafe with their 3x5 cards and like, I got this buyer, I got this seller. And that's how they would do real estate. And when she found a good deal for herself, she just did it. So if you can get a good deal, there's good deals out there. I just heard of one yesterday that he just went to the landowner and offered him money. So you can get good deals that way. Let's see. Okay. Anything else? I am not a talker. I'm surprised I've lasted this long, everyone. I like to just get things done. And yeah, Keith's more the talker. He has so much. But I am glad to share anything else that you might have. Let's see. I can't remember. I should have taken more notes before I got here. I was planning on being here a little bit sooner and phone calls came in. That's how it works, right? I'm just glad that you're here. And let's see, real estate, anything else? We went over buying land. Once you get the land, you can either sit on it, and pay that off. Then you have your down payment to get your construction going. Or actually, I'm trying to think of how that would work if you have a loan on your land and then get a construction loan. The first draw will probably pay off the loan so you can get going. That's probably how it works, because that's how it's going to work with them. Even with USDA, we'll get it all put together, and then they'll pay the seller of the land in the first draw. And so that makes it nice. They'll get their money. And yeah. And so it'll be just the same. What else? The cool thing about USDA is that these people are getting a really good interest rate. So check that out if that's something of interest for you guys when you build. If USDA is in a rural area, and they categorize different areas. St. George used to be a long time ago, but not anymore. Hurricane is in our area. And so you just have to check to see what part of USDA, and you can get a screaming deal on interest rates and buy. You can buy and you can build with USDA, just to let you know that. Oh, is it Sinan? I am building an ADU in my backyard and trying to figure out the construction costs per square foot. Do you have any tips on how to use market survey to back into cost per square foot? Okay, yeah, Keith is really good at this. And it is in the calculations is in that, I believe, the First Steps program on how to build your own home.com. We have 2 courses, and I think it's in the first one to figure out the square foot in your area, because everybody's area is different. And so, yeah, and I wish he could just rattle it off on how to do it. And I'm not as good as him on that, but it's, sometimes you can look at new builds on like realtor.com or Zillow, or ask a real estate agent, like what new builds are building for per square foot. You can do that too. I know on our multiple listing service, our MLS, we can, you can see price per square foot for new homes and for existing homes and stuff like that. And there's like a number that people try to stay on for if they're going to try and flip. Right now, it's not a flipping because there's such a high demand in our area. In other areas, maybe it works. I remember when St. George was, if you found a home for $75 a square foot or less, that's a good flip. So I hope that helps. Did that help you? You're in Southern California and the market price is way beyond the cost. Okay. And it probably, what part of Southern California would be a big deal too, because if you're looking at new homes in high end, they're going to have, like here, we have high end areas and economical areas, and the high end can be well above $600 a square foot. And then the economical area in Southern Utah is probably, like Cedar City is about 45 minutes from here, and they have a smaller price per square foot too on new build. I want to say it's probably more the $220 a square foot, where St. George is about, it's over $300 a square foot, even though there's a few that have popped up. Well, I take that back, because if it's a townhome or something like that, it's less than that. It's like $250. Hope that helps. But you take So you just look at the MLS and see what they're building for. And Keith knows better. Sorry. Go to the course and find out. I don't want to give you false info. Oh, I should put a disclaimer. Yes, I will probably say something wrong in this, and hopefully Keith will correct me. Okay, let's see here. JL, when you hear a house is being sold as is, where is, what do you think as a real estate agent? That is a great question, because at least in our state, in the state of Utah, all existing homes on the real estate purchase contract, that's the REPC, real estate purchase contract, it says the homes are being sold as is. But sometimes the real estate agent puts it in being sold as is, just to remind everybody these are sold as is. So that means that they're pretty tight on their numbers. They're not going to, if you do your due diligence and you want this fixed and this fixed and this fixed and this fixed, it might be a no. I mean, you can always try, but most likely it's going to be a no. Like, it's sold as is, take it as it is, offer as it is, as is. So that's what as is. But all homes are sold as is, just to let you know. Some sellers do accommodate and like, okay, yeah, we can fix that, or we can fix that. That's a common misunderstanding at the real estate. Even some of the agents don't realize that. I just had one. I had the listing and it just sold 3 weeks ago. And the agent's like, hey, this fixed. And I said, it's sold as is. It says it in the REPC. He's like, oh. So even real estate agents don't know that. Okay, let's see. Talk about percolation tests and well drilling permits. Oh, I wish I could. I am not an expert on that. That would definitely be Keith. And that's what we're doing. I'm hoping that we get a video, because tomorrow, I don't know, we were trying to schedule the perk test and everything for tomorrow on this home site that we're working on. So hopefully we can get some video if it got up. So here's another thing. When a home site is listed on, say, a multiple listing service or the realtor.com or Zillow, it's nice when they have the address, but not all the time. Some agents just plug in the tax ID number, which is very frustrating. And that's what happened to this one. It was just the tax ID number. And I had appointments today. So Keith was running around to the county and to get an address. So we knew it was on what street it was on. So that wasn't a problem. We just needed a home number address for the lot. So when we called Blue Stakes, they knew where to go, because Blue Stakes not going to go off a tax ID number. Nobody can find directions from a tax ID number. So if there isn't a tax ID number, make sure you ask the agent to get that. Let's see. And so to get the perk test. So hopefully we will have a video on the perk. Okay, let's see here. I should write notes. In fact, I might take a screenshot. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. How to get power on empty lots. Okay, this is Art H. That's another thing that you want to ask before you purchase a home site. You want to ask them, how far is power, water, sewer? Because sometimes there's no sewer and you have to do septic. And ideally, you get a flat lot and the water and sewer and power are right at the street. That's ideal. And the soils test done and the perk test is already done. That's a great lot. Yeah, wave a magic wand. That's what you want. And having good soils. You want good soils. And then they just, what I've seen, if there's a sidewalk or something, they just cut into the sidewalk and get it all in there. And yeah, if you want more technical, that would be a Keith question. And we're going to have my little cute dog join us right now as she comes through the house. Okay. I'm in the process. Okay, Steve Dolan. I am in the process of getting plans for a small home build in Southern Nevada. Any idea for financing, like a HELOC for owner builder? Oh, okay. Great. Okay. Is it on the same property? A process of getting plans for a small home build. Yes. So if it's not on your property, then and you own the land can be. I would go to a credit union that's local or a local bank and get financing. Ask them because they know the area and they're more apt to help. A HELOC, that's where you have your home and your mortgage, and then you have so much equity. So home equity line of credit. Home equity, that's a HELOC. So you take what's your equity, they give you about 80%. They don't give you the whole thing, just to FYI. And then you also need to look at the interest rate of how that will be too. So, but that is a good, we've done that before. And then when the interest rate was lower, we just combined it all. HELOC. So, and then banks and credit unions. That's all we've had. We're always looking for new ways and new people that are looking to help owner builders with loans. So, okay. Same property. Okay, Steve, it's on the same property. Then definitely I would do a HELOC. Yeah, because you've got already there. And credit union or a bank. We've noticed that credit unions are a lot easier to work with in our area. But if it's a local bank and a local credit union, they tend to be easier to work with. But it really, also, if you get a really good loan officer that knows what they're doing, I would shop around for loan officers because some can get things done a lot easier and quicker than others, for sure. My husband. Okay, he's saying I'm doing awesome. Okay, glad to hear it. Okay. Do you have students from Southern California that are willing to share their experience of their build and contact info of the subs they hired? I will have to check into that. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of some of these notes real quick for Keith because I didn't grab my notebook. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have to do it. If you want to, if you guys have any questions that I can't answer or I didn't answer properly, please go to howtobuildyourownhome.com and there's a little form that you can fill out, contact us, and we'll get the email. And I really feel bad because it was a couple weeks ago, somebody was talking to me, talking to Keith, and he was trying to get into the Facebook group, and I lost his info because he had 2 different emails. So if that's you, please go to howtobuildyourownhome.com and leave a comment so I can help you. I really do want to help you. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? The big thing. So inventory. Let's talk about inventory. Because if you're looking to build to rent, it's getting very interesting right now, at least in our market. The rents are getting so high, and now the prices, because the interest rates, it's coming to where people are going to start buying because the rents are so high. And and in our area, inventory is still low. So we still have a high price point. We're not filling it. If there's other places in the country that the prices are tanking, which I have heard, we're not that area yet. But I do know that some people are saying, oh, it's going to be like 2008 and the big crisis and this and that. Well, in our area, it's not yet. If it's going to happen, I don't know. And I didn't bring my crystal ball with me, but if I had a crystal ball, we'd all be rich. Trust me. And so, yeah, inventory is low still for properties here, homes and land. Land is in high demand. So prices are still high. What makes a great realtor? Okay, well, put me on the spot. I know what I like to do. Okay, first of all, if you need to talk to a realtor, somebody that's full-time. somebody that is just part-time trying to get into it, I feel their pain. I know, but it is better to get a full-time agent that's doing it all the time, because there's so much we learn every day and things are changing all the time. They have a pulse on the market. They hear of things. In our area, once we get a listing and we start talking about it, it has to be on the MLS within 24 hours. It used to not be that way. So we used to like know inside, oh, this one's coming on the market and this one's coming on the market. I still once in a while, but get a full-time real estate agent that does it all the time, and someone that has quite a bit of experience or is on a team that can ask a lot of questions. That is best too, because there's, like anything, a good plumber, a good tile person, you learn, good framer, they've been doing it, they learn a lot. And also, I have won deals because of my reputation. So there's something to say. If you get a horrible agent that is just mean to the other agents and is rude and is not easy to work with, they will pick the other agent that's easy to work with. Just telling you. Okay. 2008 is once in a lifetime event. Too many owners have big equity now. Okay. There's lots of, I didn't realize that in 2008, 2005, the prices were going so high. I thought we never hit that far. And it was very interesting because last year we surpassed our 2005 prices, and now we're still kind of staying in there, but yep, the crash. David L. When I narrow my search for property, what are good questions to ask a realtor that can help an owner builder buy a property? Oh, good questions. Okay. It all depends. A good agent will want to know what your lifestyle, what you like at least in Southern Utah, this is what I do. Like, do you like biking? Like, what area do you want? Do you want a homestead? And things like that. So they're going to ask you lots of good questions. So get an agent that asks you good questions. And so when you narrow your search for property, you want to ask how busy the roads are. It all depends. Are you looking for something that's in your own local area or outside the area? I guess it would be the same, but is it going to be busy? What is going to be planned or developed around it, and make sure it's not something that you don't want to be by. I had a client, we purchased a lot, and then several months later, we found out the other landowner bought more land, and they wanted to put a big cabin for a conference center. And so if we would have known that just 3 months, I mean, it's all timing. It all happens after the fact, but they might not have bought it. They're okay with it, but they might not have. They're like, oh, we just found that out. I'm like, oh, that's good to know. So knowing what's around the property, see if it conflicts with anything that you don't want. Whatever the property. Oh, water is important. I know Keith says water, but this is a different scenario, right? You want water, how much irrigation, how water shares, water rights, wells. You see a good deal on land. Does it have water? You need water. So make sure water is very, very, very important. Let's see what else. Oh, asking the same questions like, where's the power and sewer and water hookups? Like, how close is that? That's really important. And these are really good questions. We should write it down and then post it. I'm going to do it right now. You're going to okay. Okay. That is a really, really good question. Art H, hire an architect or buy plans off a magazine. Oh, okay. I actually like to go through model homes, see it, and then get their plan and then tweak it and use an architect. That's what I would do. Or even just use it. There are CAD people, though they're even cheaper, and they can design it, and then the engineer can do it, and then you can come back and then you can design the outside. I think architects are a little bit more expensive. or a lot more. I'm not sure, but there are people out there that are designers that can draw it up for you for really inexpensive. That's what I would do. I would design it. Yeah. Because it seems like even the ones online, you change and then it costs money and then it costs extra money to get the engineered plans for that. Like there's so many just too many variables on the just buy off a magazine or online. Okay, let's see here. I lost my spot. Okay. Is it hard to be a buyer's agent? Most buyers go to websites and go straight to the listing agent. That is true. So I'm seeing a lot of this. A buyer's agent. Okay, two things that came to my mind that people are doing. Some people are coming to the listing agent to think that they're going to get a better deal. In our state now, we have to show how much commission is going to the other brokerage. What everybody needs to understand with a real estate agent is that when it's listed on the MLS, that the brokerages have agreed to a price of compensation, not the agents. Because how it works is there's a brokerage. All the agents work for a brokerage, and the brokerage gets the money, and the agent, then there's fees paid and everything, and then the agent gets a portion of it. And the compensation, the commission, is through the brokerages. So I've gotten calls on my listings, and they're saying, hey, since we're not using a buyer's agent, we can get a better deal. But no, because that's already been negotiated between the brokerages. It's not. That's not the buyers that aren't using an agent. That's not their money to say they can get a discount for. Just FYI. I've been seeing a lot of those buyers out lately. They'll just keep calling the listing agent for the different things. And then let's see, there was one other thing. They're hoping they get a better deal when they use the listing agent. That's the one too, but that makes it really hard because you can't be fully represented sometimes. And that's kind of, I've done it both ways where I've given the other buyer to somebody else to represent because there's been multiple offers and I didn't want to get into that messy stuff. I wanted everybody to feel represented. But sometimes when it's just I don't even know how to say it, that they're cooperating already. The buyer and seller's cooperating. It's not a problem to just get it done. So I've done it both ways where I've represented both. And then I've had some that we've passed out. Okay. So yes, and being Zillow and Realtor, the buyers these days are more well-informed, which is great. Like the better knowledge is better for everybody. The thing that I'm seeing from the buyers that are coming is that they don't appreciate the buyers agents and the things that they do, because there is a lot of things that they do. There's a lot of paperwork and working with title, working with the lender. There's a lot of things that go on in the background that nobody really knows about. And so they're like, yeah, we found the lot. We found this, we found that. We don't even know what our agent did. And so that is hard because there is a lot of negotiation that goes on and paperwork. So appreciate your agent if they're a good one. Okay. Let's see. Art H. Be your own contractor or hire one. Ooh, we've done painting before and we've done drywall. And never will I do drywall ever again. There's a talent and art to it, and it's well worth the money. Same with paint. And then if you get a good framer, we had this awesome framer on our very, very first home. His name was Shane, and he was awesome. He's like, we had a good designer too, CAD designer and all that. But when he started building, he's like, hey, we got a little nook here. We got a little nook here. Let's use it. Let's use it. A good framer is worth gold for sure. And so it just depends. We have a friend that's an electrician, and yeah, go ahead, do the electricity. That's great. If you're not a professional in that, I would second guess it. There's some things that maybe you feel better about, like maybe tiling or floor for us because we've done so many family members' homes. But professional is so nice. It all depends on your budget too, right? But if you can have a professional do it all the way through, it's awesome. If you're using How to Build Your Own Home course and you're just saving the management fee of building, like that's a big chunk, 10 to 20% right there. And you're just managing all those. That's great. When we built our first home, I'm trying to think, we knew roofing, so we did the roofing. But we hired a lot out and we just kept it clean for them. We'd get the kids from school and we'd go over there and we'd clean up the site and we'd get pizza. Sometimes we'd be there till midnight cleaning and making it nice so that when the subs came the next day and it just went smooth. It was fun. The kids really learned a lot and they learned hard work. It was awesome. Okay. See, I say I don't talk very much, but look at you guys got me going here. Okay. I went through all this BS when I was building my house in 05. I'm glad I did it. And now I pay way less than what people pay for rent. God bless all. Oh yeah. Well, good job. That's great. Oh, it is stressful. They do say that when you build your own home, a lot of marriages end. And so when Keith and I were done with it, we're like, hey, we did it. We actually, it went smooth. We didn't have any problems. So maybe we're just lucky. I don't know. It is stressful though, because money comes in or, oh, how are we gonna have money? Like you find something that is more money than you had budgeted. And it's like, oh, we gotta do it. So we gotta cut somewhere else, but you can do it. You can do it. Okay. DB Douglas, I own 80 acres of rural land outright and often get unsolicited lowball offers from out-of-state companies wanting to purchase it or list it. I never have put it up for sale. Why do they do it? Because they are just looking for people that will sell. And it's going to happen. Like it does. That's how they find pieces that people are willing to sell. It's just part of marketing for those bigger companies. That's what they do. And it might be interesting to find out, maybe there's something been planned or projected and you just don't know about it. And so they're going, yeah, they're beating somebody to the punch. Because I know there's people here that go to the city council and they listen to see what's getting approved. And then they go out and they go buy the land. That's going to happen because it just got approved. Okay. But then there's also things, I know Keith's in my head right now, what he would, he would say. There are big companies out there trying to buy up land to occupy it so we can all be servants. I'll leave it at that. Most of you guys probably know what that's all about, but okay. This is Mash Out Man. Where would someone go for advice from professionals? Are you talking about like contractor professionals? If you are, I would go to a lumber yard. If you are wanting to talk to like framers and those type of professionals, professionals with tile, I would go to the tile, like flooring places, and ask them who are their best tile people, and then see if you can get their contact and then talk to them. So wherever they're picking up supplies for that contractor, I would go there and talk to the people behind the desk. Be really nice. Those people that are just doing the 9-to-5 stuff behind desks, doing the grunt work, be nice to those people because they are a wealth of knowledge. Yeah. Okay. Any resources for it? I guess it depends. Like we have some resources on the How to Build Your Own Home course. So howtobuildyourownhome.com. There's a few resources. I'll need to look in there and see how many more resources Keith has put in there If anybody knows, you can put it in the comments. Because I know we have a really good designer, and I think he's an architect. He was a framer, and then he got in an accident, and now he designs homes. He's a really good price, and he can do it all over the country. So he's really good. And then we have an engineer that's licensed in many states too. That's a resource with the course. Let's see, David B. You have to have a positive outlook to succeed at building your own home, for sure. Yeah, it's, yep. Sinan again, do you think foundation guys would also do framing? I was thinking if I could hire one company to do both, I can avoid finger pointing headache, if any. Oh, that's a good, I think they're always two separate, the concrete and the framing guys. With the concrete, I would go and see their past jobs, see, hey, where are you pouring? And then go see how they do it and how they finish. And then I would talk to framers and ask them who their best concrete people are. They'll recommend that too. Because if you have a good framer and he has his favorite concrete because it makes his job so much easier. That's what I do. Because that's what I like. I have good title people when I do title work, and I have good lenders. When offers come in for property and they have pre-approval letters from these different people, I know which ones might be questionable and might not hit deadlines, or might be a struggle to get it done, or I have to check up with them all the time, or I have to help them do their job. And then I have some that they're so fun to work with. So you just find the people that enjoy working together because they know they do a good product, do a good thing. So I would talk to a framer of who their favorite concrete person is. That's what I would do. Okay. And then framers. Okay. Hopefully that helps, Mash Out Man. I hope that helps you. Framers. I would go to the lumber yard. I would go see their work. Let's see, framers. Who else would we talk to? The good framers. I would probably go to the lumber yard and ask them. Okay. David L. Is there a difference between working with a realtor or a broker? I've spoken to both. There seems to be a positive and negative to both. Okay. A realtor and a broker. So a realtor just means they don't have their broker license. A broker can work with a bunch of agents, and a realtor is just a real estate agent. So you have to have so many hours and so many credits and so much within a year, and then you have to take more schooling and a test to pass to be a broker. And every real estate office has to have a broker. So the good things with a broker is that they've got lots of experience, and it depends on how big an office they are working in. If they have a lot of agents they have to deal with, they might be too busy working with all their agents to help you. But they're a wealth of knowledge because they've been around and had a lot of years experience. So it just depends on how big an office they have and how many agents they have that they're dealing with and managing. And some brokers, some offices are do deals, and then some brokers can do deals, and then there's some offices that say, yeah, our broker, they don't help anybody but the own agents. So I would just see how many agents they're helping and how busy they are. But they're smart, but you can find an experienced agent too. Like, I don't want to be a broker. I don't want to manage. I'm happy just being a real estate agent. So, but I've been doing this since 2006, and I feel pretty knowledgeable. I don't know everything because it changes all the time, of course, but I know a lot. Okay, let's see. Mash Out Man. Trying to get your questions answered by the building inspectors is like pulling teeth. They take the approach of just build it and we'll tell you what you did wrong. Oh, yeah. They'll tell you what to do that you did wrong for sure. And then if you get another one, or if you get a newbie, oh, don't get us started on newbie. Okay. You're probably laughing at home. Yep, exactly. Alex R. Hey, everyone. What's the first real step in being an owner builder? Is it having a house design, finding where to build it, or going through an educational course? Okay. If you want to be an owner builder, That's a good question because there's so many different avenues. We do have like a first steps course if you want to look at that and see if you're up to it. But if you don't want to do that and you want to be an owner builder, you could look at land. Well, like I said, do you already have land? Let's see. Is having a house designed fine? I would not design a house first. No, no, no. Because once you find the land, you want to design it so you can get whatever view. There's one house over here. I feel so bad. It's a first starter home, and I was so excited they were building it. And then they put the garage. They have a park, a big city park, right to the side of the house, and they put the garage on that side. They missed the whole beautiful open view because they put the garage there. So I wouldn't design the house. I would have an idea like how you want it to flow if you want, like on a piece of paper and sketch it. But I would find the land and then design it to take in all the beauty. So I would do that first. I would find land, find the costs, and then find out how much it's going to cost you to build and go from there. Yeah. Okay, let's see. David L. The broker is independent, doesn't manage an office. Okay, if the broker's independent, then they've done enough work that, I mean, the broker, he can do his own prices too. So I don't know if his fees are going to be less. I mean, brokers can tell you how much the fees are too. I know some independent brokers here, their fees are less, but then I know some others that they charge extra. So that could be a good thing, an independent broker, if they have lower fees and they don't have any agents, because they can do it themselves. I have to go what my broker sets, but if they're an independent broker, they can set their own fees. Okay. David B. It has to do with liability. They can't give you suggestions. People sue the city, township when something goes wrong with their house and they blame the inspector. Okay, thank you, David B. You're awesome. Okay, get educated first. Okay, Alex R. Yep, good job. Yep, there's a lot of info out there to get educated. And we're glad that you're here. And I'm so glad. Okay, I just have a little bit left. So if anybody had any more questions, I can't believe you guys got me talking this long. I don't talk this long. Wow. Okay, yep. Hope this all helped with all your questions so far. And Keith will be back next week. He will. You'll probably get his little, I'll just be quiet. I'm not going to say anything. But good to have you. And you can do it if you're organized and have a positive outlook. You can be an owner builder, and there's lots of them out there. You're not alone. We're here to help, and we're glad you're here. Anybody have anything else? Okay. Thanks, David L. I appreciate it. We are glad that you guys are all here. We really, really do appreciate you. And this is really fun to get to know you and your projects. And yeah, just give us some more insight and questions. If you have questions, go to howtobuildyourownhome.com and put it in the comment section, leave a comment and email. So yeah, happy 4th of July, everybody. Yes, independence. This is Independence Week. And being an owner builder is part of your freedoms. Take it on. Thank you, Sinan. I hope I'm saying that right. I hope, I never know. Okay, Alex R. Are the last lots available in a neighborhood always bad or something wrong with it since no one has built on it yet? I want to build one day and I found some lots, but it's the last 2 available. Not necessarily. If it's an area and they have some good views, usually the ones with the good views and the bigger lots get taken first. The nice thing about getting the last ones is you don't have to deal with all the construction for all the other times. So not necessarily. If it's in a good neighborhood and a good spot, and then again, soils test is going to tell you if it's good soils or not. Okay, Judy. Oh, thanks for watching, Judy. We appreciate you being here. And okay, I will let you go. You guys have a fabulous 4th of July and spend some time, make some good memories. And God bless you. See ya.